Okay, the first belly pan you want to take off, and this will give you access to the oil filter and the oil pan bolt, is this one right here. And as you can see, there's certain numbers pointing to the different bolts. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I guess they should be put on and taken off in the order which they specify. And so let's do that. These are 10 mil bolts. Do number 1. Number 2. And this pan slides right out, and you push it right back down there. Right back down there. Okay, so as you can see, here's our beautiful Hemi oil pan made out of cast aluminum. It actually looks really nice. Very deep sump here. There you go. The bolt to take out the oil is right here. And the oil filter is right there. Now, if you have one of those attachments that goes over the oil filter, you need to get a 93 millimeter attachment that will take that out. I'm going to see if I have that, because if I don't have that, then this is going to be a very short video. Another thing for sure is don't wear good clothes. You're going to get dirty. Look at my hands, already dirty, and I barely started. So this is a messy job. No matter how you do it, you're going to make a mess. Okay, like I said, that requires a 93 millimeter ring that you can use to oil filter loosener. Or, I didn't have that, but I did have this. Sort of more of an old-fashioned style. There is room to get the handle in there, and this circle is big enough for 93 millimeters, so I've loosened it. So this will work on the Hellcat. I'm not taking this off yet. We'll drain the oil first, then we'll take this off. I just wanted to make sure I could get it off. Now let's take off this bolt. This is the oil drain bolt. This is 13 millimeter. It shouldn't be on there too tough. We're going to find out. And we have to prepare for a large amount of oil to come out of there. Okay, I barely started. I'm already getting tired. So this is at least a 1 monster can job. I think maybe 2, but let's start off with this one. This view never gets old. Okay, I like to use one of these open style oil pans because you can move them around, any drips will get in there, and then from here I transfer it to a regular oil, a sealable oil disposal unit. But this is good for capturing anything that's nice and wide because the oil goes everywhere. First of all, we'll just break the bolt loose. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, I broke the bolt loose. Now you can take it from here by hand. Get our oil pan in position and try and keep your hand above the bolt to minimize the amount of oil that will go on your hands. It's coming off. Oh. Getting near the end. I can feel it's getting near the end. Getting near. Oh, some more coming out. Oil coming out, and okay, as you can see, that really comes out far. That's why you need a very large oil pan here. That oil looks black, black, black. Wow. Okay, so this bolt looks in pretty good shape. It's got a built-in little washer right there, and a lot of people switch over to magnetic oil pan bolts, and that's what I'm going to do next time. Right now I don't have that yet, so for now let's just clean this up and we're going to reuse this one. Also, I almost forgot, you're supposed to have this open as well to make sure that there's no vacuum, that this can help drain the oil there. Okay, the oil is basically drained out, but what I like to do, what a lot of other guys like to do, is put in a little bit of oil, like half a quart, half a liter, just to drain out the last bit of the nasty stuff. And for that, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put just a little bit in, it's going to drain, and just take out any remaining nasty oil. And as you can see, it took out the last bit of nasty oil. And that is clean oil. Okay, filler plug goes in. Get that finger tight. Wipe off any oil that's in the area, just so that once you get everything done, you can see if there's any leaks here. And this bolt has to be torqued down to about 20 to 25 foot-pounds according to Dodge. Got the good old torque wrench here, set for 24 foot-pounds. Okay, so we've repositioned the oil pan here, and now we're going to take out the oil filter. I've already loosened it, so I should be able to undo this by hand. Again, this is going to be a messy job. What you want to do is keep this vertical. After it's loose, keep it vertical and then drain it in here, because there's going to be a lot of oil in there because this is a vertical oil filter. So let's start. Come on. Let's see what happens here. Now it's getting loose. Getting loose, oil starting to come out. Oh. Like I said, it's a messy job. Okay, that's where your oil filter mounted to. Now you want to clean those surfaces. And I can see there's still a rubber gasket here that we got to get out. There we go. Anyway, you've got to clean those surfaces, and then we can put the new filter on. Okay, we're ready to put on the oil filter. And this is the oil filter that you're going to get normally from your Dodge dealer. You can see there's the part number. Nice Mopar filter. But I have heard that there are better quality ones available from Dodge. They're the SRT white ones. Next time I'm going to use those. This oil change, I'll use the standard filter. The SRT white ones, they're a little bit larger, have better capacity. But for now, I'm going to use this one. Now, it's important to fill this full of oil before you put it back on the car. That way, there'll be no dry start at all. You got to fill this full of oil, lubricate this rubber gasket here, and then carefully, keeping it vertical so it doesn't spill, put it back on the motor. Now it takes a while to fill this up because, as you can see, there's air bubbles. So you gotta take your time and get it completely full. Okay, let's put this oil filter back on carefully. Okay, have to be very careful because you got to keep a good grip on it until you know it's on the threads, which it's not on the threads yet. Okay, once it's on the threads, we can spin it on. And let's get this hand tight, which I think is probably good enough. I might give it a little bit of a hit with the wrench, but it doesn't have to be super tight. Okay, the next step is to take off the front pan here. This is held on by a bunch of bolts and clips of all sorts here, and that will allow us access to get to the oil cooler drain plug, and that will be the last bit of oil to drain, and then we can fill this sucker up. Now, getting the pan off was fairly easy, so I don't think it's really necessary to go into detail about that, but this is your oil cooler tube here, and this is your oil cooler drain plug. This has got to come off, and then a little bit of oil will drain out of here. And then we'll put this back and fill the car up full of oil. Okay, so this is a 15 millimeter bolt, and hopefully it's not too tight. It'll come right out. Okay, that was extremely loose. That almost has me worried. That was so loose. That's amazing. Now let's drain this and then we're done. Okay, so this oil doesn't come spurting out with a huge amount like the drain plug does on the oil pan, but it still comes out a bit, and it's not a lot. It's almost done. I'll put the plug back after cleaning it, and then we'll fill the car up. Okay, she's just about drained. We'll put this bolt back in. and probably tighten it to about maybe 15 foot-pounds. That's what I think would work pretty good. And yeah, we're almost done. So according to the manual, the Hellcat motor takes 6.5 liters of oil, or the 2018 I believe takes 7 liters, but anyway, 6.5 liters. So we'll start off by putting in maybe 5 liters. That should take us midpoint on our dipstick, and then we can check for leaks. Okay, so I've got just over 6 liters of oil in the car right now. So we're gonna check for oil pressure. Okay, so what we wanna do is get to our oil pressure screen here. Coolant temp, boost pressure, air fuel, intake, battery, oil life. We're gonna have to reset that too, by the way. And oil pressure. This is where you wanna be, oil pressure. Now what we're gonna do is, this is a cold start, so the engine should have around 60 PSI, up around here. It is a warm day, so it might be a little bit less than that, but we got to make sure that the oil pressure rises right away, that there's no low oil pressure warning, and if there is, shut off the car right away. But everything should be fine. Oil is in the car. We're ready to go. Okay, that's good. Oil pressure went up right away. Right away. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Just below 60, as I would expect. Oil pressure's good. No oil pressure warnings. We're gonna let the car warm up, which should happen pretty rapidly. We will check for any leaks, and then we'll be good to go. And the only thing remaining after that will be to reset your oil life gauge to 100%. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, no leaks underneath here. You gotta be careful. There's moving parts right here. You can see the fan moving, so you gotta be careful with your hands. No leaks from the oil filter. No leaks from the oil cooler drain bolt. Looking good. Okay, everything's looking good. I will show you how to reset your oil life gauge. First of all, we put it into accessory, foot off the brake, press the button. We're in accessories now. Oil temperature, trans temperature, coolant temperature, tire pressure, coolant temperature, boost pressure, air fuel, air intake, battery, oil life. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna reset our oil life. I'm now in the oil life gauge. Change engine oil, so I've already done that. Okay, let's see what it says. Yeah, okay. And okay, it says I got 3% left. Now it should be 100%. I've just changed my oil. And it says hold OK to reset. Okay, as you can see, we now have 100% oil life left. Life is good. Okay, so there's no leaks. So all I gotta do is put on the belly pans. That's exactly the opposite of how you took them off. So I won't go over that here. It's pretty simple. Basically, this job is done. Okay, this oil change is done. I'm very happy to be able to have done it myself. It wasn't as hard as I thought. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So thanks for watching Photomikes Garage. I will see you next time.